Hello. Welcome. So it's already February. That means it's already been 6 months since I've come to Finland and since I've started vlogging. To celebrate, I made myself some ramen. Check out these chopsticks. Pour myself some beer. Lapland. And wanted to cheers.
And celebrate my 6 months while also doing a little reflection on it. The video might be a little bit awkward, and I'm definitely feeling awkward. But I'm gonna review my journal and share with you guys what my main joys and challenges have been since coming here.
Let's get a little bite of ramen and let's begin.
Disclaimer, this video is going to be talking about my life very specifically as a student that's in a very international program and also living in Helsinki.
Number one. I really love being around the Finnish nature. The connection to trees here is superb. There's also a lot of lakes. I think I'm someone who really gets affected by the surroundings a lot, so I've been feeling very calm and peaceful. The footage that you're seeing right now, it's a week after coming to Finland. I actually bought a bike on Tori and I was waiting for the bike owner. It was somewhere in Espoo and there was a nice forest and I decided to just meditate, kill time for 30 minutes. Number two, the walkability and the bikeability while having a lot of personal space. What this means is that, at least in Espoo and Helsinki, it's pretty well connected with bus and train, tram, metro, that you can walk to places and take public transportation. And it's safe on the bus and safe while walking on the street at night. As you guys might know, I've lived in US before and it's a huge country, but there is only like New York City and maybe one other city that has acceptable public transportation. And I mentioned personal space because, yes, Korea, Seoul, is very well connected. There's a lot of public transportation available. But during the rush hour, you have to get really close to people. And by close, I mean really close, like intimate. And it's not comfortable. I'm not saying it's always like that, but there are times you will have to get really close to people. Whereas in Finland, it seems like there's always personal space, even in queues, even in rush hour traffic. That really shocked me. So, having your own personal space. I've been enjoying that. Number three. I've been really liking the culture of the people here. People have been very kind and straightforward. This was different from what I've been reading on the internet. I've been reading foreigners coming here saying, oh man, people are like cold or hard to get to know. I realize people are a little more shy and reserved, but they're just being honest. You know, I had a really hard time when I moved to US from Korea, getting used to the American small talk because I never understood all these fake kindness. And people saying, let's get lunch sometimes, I love you, but it didn't really mean anything. I even made a song about it. It's called Small Talks. Small talks make me wanna buy cigarettes and I don't even smoke. Number four. Surprisingly, I actually been really enjoying the winter. Yes, in the beginning it was a struggle, but it's because I didn't have a routine. I was coming from living in California for 8 years. Now that I have a routine figured out, I feel like I'm actually enjoying the winter because it's very introspective and calm. I've been reading so many books. I didn't have time and space to read. And I'm spending a lot of time just being slow, reflecting on life. I understand that darkness can be tough, but I've been using the daylight lamp right here religiously, taking vitamin D religiously, and it was really nice getting all the advice that I got from the winter survival guide video. Once I had a good routine, I think the darkness was okay, and I didn't realize how quiet it can get because the snow absorbs all the sound. Number five, really appreciate how much there's societal support from, I guess, the government. For example, there's so much support for students. I can't believe I only pay €3 for my school lunch and it's nutritionally balanced and it's not only for my school, but you can go to like a different school's cafeteria and also get the same discount. In other activities like exercise classes, climbing gym, even phone plans, you name it, there's so many student discounts. Now that I talked about some joys, let me talk about some challenges because life isn't perfect. No country, no city is perfect. I would say definitely the main challenge of moving to Finland as a student and just I think moving to Finland in general is getting into the system. So Finland seems to have a very robust, centralized system of data. This means everyone has a personal ID code. Because I live in a city that didn't offer the personal ID code, so what I ended up having to do was get an appointment at the DVV center. And man, that was really tough because they only accept, I forget, let's say like 30 people or something who don't have an appointment. And I think I went there at like 6:30 a.m. or earlier and waited in a line for hours. And it was really sad because I was like the 31st person. So the person in front of me was the last person to get personal ID code. And it was extra sad because I think someone got in line. Number two, this is super related, but after I finally got a personal ID code, I had to get an appointment at the police station and then apply for another ID called, I think it was called municipality ID. And then after that, I needed a way to prove that I'm living in Finland. But I was living in a place that didn't have like a registered address as a permanent place for some reason. So I wanted to open a bank account, but I couldn't. And you need to have a bank account to authenticate anything. In order to get a bank account, you needed a permanent address, but in order to get like an apartment, you needed a bank account. So there was a bit of a loop, and I remember being pretty stressed about that. But that said, it could have been worse. I am still really grateful that I get to even be here and like come here and get the visa. Number three. Actually, I was okay with the cold and the darkness more than I thought I would be. But the problem I'm facing more is the dry skin that is caused by the cold air and the heater inside. But that's just how my skin is. I already had a little bit of issue and I would have to put like lotion or some kind of cream. But after coming to Finland, it has gotten way worse in the winter. So I'm really looking forward to it getting warmer specifically for that reason. Yeah.
First sun in a while. How does it feel?
It's been so long. I almost forgot.
We missed you. Where were you?
Number four. This is super random, and at this point I'm kind of running out of things to say negative about my experience here because I've been liking it so much. But it's interesting, I kind of miss hills and mountains. I've always lived in hilly places. I mentioned I live near San Francisco, and San Francisco is extremely hilly, and I spend a lot of time hiking. That was a really nice hobby and a way to hang out with people. I understand there are some mountains in the north, but in general it's just less hilly over here. I never thought I would miss it, but I do. Number five. This is definitely not specific to Finland, but the challenge number 5 has been that I miss my friends. I understand that I've only been here for 6 months, so of course I'm not gonna have deep, intimate friendships instantly. Those things take a lot of work and time, and also a little bit of magic because I don't think I'm an easy person who clicks with everyone I encounter. It's actually hard for me to find that kind of deep connection. Yeah, I think just by the matter of living in multiple places, your heart is a bit split in multiple cities. Specifically, I found a really good community in the Bay Area. It was actually one of the big motivations to start vlogging so that I can share a little bit of my life here to my friends. I understand that I can't be everywhere all at once, and I hope to keep connecting with people here and deepening my friendships. And I'm feeling pretty hopeful about it because I met some good people. Now, I'm gonna just share some miscellaneous surprises that I felt here. Miscellaneous mini culture shocks. The first super random one that I wrote in my journal, the tap water straight from the sink tastes amazing, and also that you can do that because not everywhere has that luxury, I guess. And it's just nice. It's just like you drink the water, you pick a mushroom, you eat it, and the berries. And I think there are a lot of mushrooms that grow here, which is super dope. Another random thing is that Korean people don't do this, but I got so used to doing this in America. When you see your neighbor, I normally smile and say hey, but it's not necessarily something people do here. So I have a neighbor who we make eye contact and then just looks away. And I don't know if it's creepy for me to smile, so I smile and then I stop smiling. I don't think everyone does that. I think maybe some people do smile. So let me know what you guys think about that. Like, what's the norm, or is there a norm? I'm just trying to figure out my smile game, you know? But I think it's also cool that you don't have to force a smile, right? Because if you don't want to smile, I respect that. Another random thing is I actually really been enjoying learning the Finnish language, even though a lot of people on the internet and honestly like some of my friends in the circle complain about how hard it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's very different from English, but is it that different if it still uses the same alphabet? I think it's really hard to learn a language that doesn't use the same letter. Like learning Chinese, for example, would be really hard, or Arabic. The fact that Finnish has the same alphabet as English, and if you're an English speaker, then at least you're halfway in. Also, I think it's cool that it doesn't share the same root as most other European languages, because there's something creative about that too. I personally really like the post positions where you don't say I go to the store. Instead, you say I go store to. Or I'm at the library becomes I library at. I think it's fun. It feels like a little puzzle game that you have to play. And people overall are very nice when you try to speak Finnish with them. Not all cultures are as patient as that, but
Yeah.
Musikia on elama.
Yeah.
Elama on musikia.
that said, I do think having to learn spoken versus formal, like two different styles, is a bit challenging. And I did break down after my first class taking Finnish too, but it's okay. I think I'm trying. Yritan. And I think I'm improving.
To contemplate on what you are about to do on a wedding night.
Could you say the word again?
Hääyöaie-ounastelu.
Part of the motivation of learning Finnish is because I've been receiving so much support in my YouTube videos from Finnish people. Thank you so much, by the way. I didn't expect this much support, and also those who are leaving very kind and encouraging comments. It's been making me feel more connected to the communities here, the country here, and I'm slowly learning more about the Finnish language and Finnish history. I would love to one day make a YouTube video in Finnish. That would be so cool. We'll see if I get there. Katsotaan, but
Kylmä tuli muistuttaa minua elossa olemisesta.
I'll keep trying. The last miscellaneous item is that I'm surprised that there's not that many Korean people here. Even in my school, I see a lot of exchange students from other Asian countries, which is really cool, but I haven't been meeting Korean people. I read somewhere that there's only 1,000 Koreans permanently living in Finland. Let me know if you guys think that is true, because that's pretty surprising, especially compared to how much like Korean items that I see in grocery store, like this, and 불닭 seems to be very big here. Yeah, I wonder where all the Korean people are at, and maybe they're all hanging out without me. I guess technically I'm also American, so do I count? And then lastly, I wanted to say I have been having a really good time here. And of course, I'm still a newbie, only 6 months in, and my opinions can change, but
Cyan is really happy about.
I love it too. I love a good cake.
Oh, look at that one.
overall, I've been very pleasantly surprised. So many friends worried about me when I said I was gonna live in Finland for at least 2 years, because I've never been to Finland before committing to moving here for school. But it feels like magic. It really worked out. I think it's a really good place for introverts who don't mind spending some introspective time alone. I think it's a really good place for people who like personal space and walking around, who love being surrounded by nature, and there are a lot of libraries and arts around. There's a lot of charm here, and overall it just doesn't feel like pretentious, the vibe. I don't know if that makes sense, but it feels very like raw and honest. Again, I don't want to idealize the place, but I just wanted to just share these first impressions for my own sake to look back at, and also I thought it would be a little bit interesting for you to listen to, especially if you're a Finnish person or someone curious about Finland. So that's basically what I prepared today. Thank you for tuning in always.
I think this is kind of the end of season 1 of my vlogs. Maybe I'll take a little break and reflect on what else can I make next. Whatever I do, I'll try to be sincere and authentic as much as internet will allow me, and also have fun.
Sorry, I'm burping. But otherwise, I hope you're taking it easy. Wish you a good rest of the day.
We missed you. Where were you?
I did.
I heard conspiracy the other day.
Yeah.